Step one, you need a piece of white paper. I'm just using a piece of computer paper. And you need a plate or a round object that fits inside of that paper. Take a pencil, hold your round object tight, trace all the way around with your pencil, and then cut this circle out nice and round. Here comes the folding part. It's the trickiest, so make sure you follow all the directions. Take your circle, fold it in half perfectly so the edges meet. Like a taco. Now, take one edge, fold it again in half, like a taco. This is actually like a quesadilla slice. Now here is the hardest part, so I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. What you have to do is take the right edge, right here, pull it over, so now it's gonna slice it so you get two equal triangles. Okay, right edge, pull over, and stop when you think these two skinny triangles are the same size. So I think this is pretty good. My edge is right down the middle, so I'm gonna fold that. Try to get it as close as you can. Now take this, what you have, flip it over, take the edge, and fold it. Now I'm gonna take my pencil on the side and crease everything really well. Okay, so open up your fold all the way. And you should have a circle that has 12 sections. If you don't have 12 little pizza slices, you messed up a little bit on one of the steps, so you should get a new piece of paper and try again. Now it's time to design your buildings. I'm gonna go right to thin black marker, but you can do pencil first if you're afraid you're gonna make a mistake, so you can erase it and then you outline everything in black. So starting with one of your sections, trace the line, that fold line, until you want the top of your building to be. This building is just gonna be straight. And then go down. That's one of my first buildings. Then turn your paper a little bit. In the next section, the side of my building's already drawn right here, but this one's gonna be a little taller, so I'm gonna continue on. Go down, right on the fold. Here's my next section. This building I want to be shorter and have a little variety in the roof. So I'm gonna go over, and this one has like a little box on the top. My next building, I'm going to have a point, and it's gonna be a little taller. So again, here is the side, up, there's my point, down. And I'm gonna continue around and design the tops of my buildings. Now, when it comes time to design your buildings with windows and stairs and rooftops, you need to imagine that as they go up higher in the building, they're gonna get smaller. So if I do a door and then I start my windows, they're going to get smaller. And you can see they're kind of tilting to the middle. So they start off big and go to the middle. You can also do things like shingles, and the shingles would get bigger too. So there are my shingles. Maybe this one has a round door and round windows with little windowsills. And you're gonna go over and design your buildings all a little different. So I'm gonna head and go do all that, and then I will show you what it looks like. So I have finished designing my 12 buildings. Some have different size windows, some have round shingles, and then I added on the tops of some like little antennas or smokestacks, little electrical boxes, things like that. Now to color in your buildings, you will need these 12 colors. And I'm using colored pencils. You can use crayons, and if you really want to get daring, you can use watercolors. You need the primaries, which are red, yellow, and blue. You need the secondaries, which are orange, green, and purple. But then you also need what's called tertiary colors, which are the ones in between. So that's red, orange, yellow, green, and blue, violet, and red, violet. Okay, make sure you have all 12. And you can see I picked them out. Some of the colored pencils will say the colors on them, like red, orange. You may have to pick through and test them on a piece of paper to make sure it's the right color you need. When you start coloring, I am going to show you how to make value going from dark to light with colored pencil. I'm starting from the top with my red. I'm going to do this building right here. I like to color on a piece of scrap paper so I can go right off the edge. To start with, you're going to color very dark. So here's my row of dark. I'm pressing hard. Then as I go up, I'm going to lighten up my pressure a little bit. I'm going right over my black marker. You can see it's already starting to get lighter. And as I go up my building, I'm going to continue to lighten up my pressure. All right, there's my first building. It goes from dark to very, very light. You can see I colored outside the line right there, and that's really easy to fix if you're using colored pencil and maybe even crayon. Just take an eraser and erase that little bit. I'm gonna show you one more colored in. I've switched to my red orange, which comes next after the red. Again, I'm on the paper. I start off dark, pushing really hard. Now, if you think you colored too dark to the top, you can take an eraser and erase that top section, and it will make it lighter for you. As you can see, I'm a little bit more than halfway done, and I'm just gonna give you a couple coloring pointers. I like to start with a sharp colored pencil. I hold the paper so it doesn't wrinkle on me. And as I'm coloring, I don't want to just go in one direction because it will end up making your coloring look very stripy. You can see sometimes I go up and down this way. I'll go diagonal. And I always try to blend the colors together. I don't just go in separate steps. As I go up, I always drag some of the color into the other one. Now my whole color wheel is done. To do the middle, I'm choosing to do black because I want a strong contrast between the very light tops and a dark middle. So I'm gonna color very dark going around the building tops, and I'm going to get lighter as I go into the middle, just as you have done with the colors. So I am going to go ahead and fill all this middle in. So I finished the black in the middle, going from the very dark to the light. And I took a piece of black construction paper and took a glue stick and mounted it on. I just think it gives it a nice finished look. But then I was looking at all the buildings and I thought they didn't have enough variety and darkness to them. So I went with my black marker and like I added coloring in some steps. Like I had some windows partially shut. I added shades. These ones are dark. I added little darkness to the tops. You can see I added black to all of them, and I really think that it enhanced the artwork a lot. So you may think about doing that. Maybe you just like color in a bunch of these. Not everyone, maybe just a few. I think that will make it pop. I would love for you to send me pictures of yours.